Hello, everyone. In this lesson, we're going to take some notes on the volume of prisms and cylinders. Prisms and cylinders. Okay, so the formula for volume is very simple. We just take the base and we multiply it by the height of the object. The base in this case is the area of the figure that is on the base of the figure, which can either be a triangle, a rectangle, and therefore a square, or a circle. Okay, and then we just multiply it by the height of the object. So let's take a look at prisms here. So first of all, what is a prism? Well, a prism is a three-dimensional figure, and when we refer to three-dimensional, that means it has not just length and width, but it also has depth, which in this case we call height. So over here, not just length and width, we also has depth, which we will call height. Okay, so that's what it means to be three-dimensional. You can actually stick something in this rectangular prism over here. Obviously, this rectangular prism looks like a box that you would ship something in, so you can physically put something in a three-dimensional figure. It has depth to it, which we call height in this situation. Okay. Okay, so a prism is a three-dimensional figure that has the same shape on both ends. So in this triangular prism, you'll notice it has a triangle at the front here and a triangle on the back side. Rectangular prism obviously has a rectangle at the top and on the bottom. And then you'll notice that this one, you would think that it would be called a circular prism just by the names that we have said in the first two figures, but circles get a special name for some reason. I do not know what it is. If you want to, look it up. But we call these cylinders. And you've probably heard of a cylinder before. Just think of like a soda can or something like that. So obviously we have a circle on the bottom and a circle on the top. Now, how did we get the formula for volume with the base times the height? Well, imagine you had this circle right here with its own radius, and you found the area of the circle, which is written down here. I've given it to you. It's pi r squared. So you found the area of the circle. Then you take the same circle, a copy of it, and slapped it right on top of itself. And you kept on doing that same circle, right on top, until you get all the way up here to this top circle. Well, that would just be repetitive addition, which is multiplication. So, however many circles you have stacked on top of each other, that would give you this height right here. So that's why we say we take the base, which is the area of whatever shape that you're dealing with. In this case, it's a circle, and you just multiply it by the height. And that's where we get the formula, base times height from. And I've given you the areas of a rectangle, length times width, and also the area of a triangle over here, which is 1/2 base times height. Notice I use a lowercase b for this one because that's what we use to differentiate between the capital B, which is up here in the volume formula, and the base that we refer to down here in the area of a triangle. And just remember that the height is from this apex right up here straight down here to the base. This forms a 90-degree angle with the base over here. That's the height that we refer to in this one. It's not this, which we'll get into in another video. This is called the slant height. That's not the height that we want. If you use that, you will get a wrong answer for the area down here, and your calculation will be off. Okay, so we've touched on those. Let's do some examples. Let's find some volumes. Okay, so this one we have a cylinder. And we want to find the volume of each of the figure to the nearest tenth. I always like to underline that. So we want to find the volume of the nearest tenth. So this one over here, I have volume equals base times height. Now I'm just going to do this over. What does B equal in this case? Well, B is the area of a circle. Area of this circle down here with radius 5. So that's what I'm going to do. This is the area of a circle is pi r squared, and therefore B is equal to pi times 5 squared, which of course, oops, that's supposed to be a B. There we go. which is, I'll just leave this as 25 pi for right now, and then I will do the calculation with pi at the end. So let's go back to red. So I have my B, I have my volume is equal to 25 pi times my height. Well, what's my height? Well, they were nice and they gave it to me. It was this height right here, 11.5. 11.5. And then now we plug all that stuff into the calculator, 25 times pi, and then times 11.5, and we get 903.2. So the volume is 903.2. Well, point two what? Well, we have our units here is meters. And remember how we were in the three-dimensional figure? Well, that just means that our figure is going to be cubed. Because if you remember from area of stuff, it was like centimeters squared or square feet. You've heard of square footage when you refer to like houses, like how much square footage is this house, right? Well, that's talking about area. That's 2 dimensions. This is 3 dimensions. So like you have a meter times a meter times a meter, which would be meters cubed. So this is 903.2 meters cubed. And that's our volume. Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video right now, and I want you to try the rectangular prism by yourself, and then come back and we will check our answers. Go ahead, pause the video right now. Okay, so you should have gotten 72 centimeters cubed. Okay, so don't forget the cubed portion because it's centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, and that would give you centimeters cubed. And since we are in the 3rd dimension, that would make sense. Okay, all right, so there's one more type of question that we can ask you, and it refers to density and or weight. So we're going to use the density formula for this, which is density, which is the D. Oops, I'm sorry. There we go. Pointer. There we go. So density equals mass, which is the M, divided by the volume. Okay, we called it the DMV formula back when I first learned it, and that seemed to stick in my head. So if you remember the DMV formula, you can remember the density formula. D equals M over V. So what do these questions look like? So in this example down here, we have a triangular prism, and it's made out of wood. And they tell us that it has a density of 2.3 pounds per cubic inch. That cubic inch right there should give you a hint that we need to find the volume. So if the wood costs $3.79 per pound, how much does the prism cost? So here's how we're going to do this. First thing that we have to do is fix a mistake that I made. Change this 3 down here into a 6. Okay, that's going to help out our calculations. I made a mistake. My bad. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do in this problem is we need to find the volume, because we already know the density, but now we need to find the volume so that we can get the mass. That's where we're headed with this. So the volume of a triangular prism, well, that is V equals base times height, right? Well, at the moment, we don't have the height. We have what's called the slant height, and we'll get into that in another video. But we have this guy right here. We want this guy right here. We want that guy. So we just need to do a little Pythagorean theorem in order to get that height. So let's draw ourselves a little picture over here just so I can see what's going on here. Our hypotenuse over here is 5. We want that h. And this bottom leg down here is just going to be half of what the new base down there, which is 6. So this is going to be 3. Now, if you recognize this already, if you know some of your Pythagorean triples, this is a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. But for those who don't know that, let's just do the Pythagorean theorem. So we have h squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. H squared plus 9 equals 25. Subtract the 9 over, we get h squared equals 16. And then take the square root of both sides. and we get h is equal to 4. See, told you, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's move back over here. So we found our h. So now we do, now we need to find our base. So we need to find the base, which is the area of the triangle, and that's why we found that h over here. That's why we found this guy. We didn't find this h, we found the h that's going to go for our area of our triangle. This h right here is going to be that 15. So we need to find b, and b is going to be, I'll do it down here, b is equal to 1/2 little base, which is now 6, times our height, which we just found, which was 4. So this is equal to 1/2 times 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 2, and this gives us 12. 12 what? This is inches squared this time. So we found our big B. Now we just got to plug it in. So V is equal to the big B down there, which is 12, times the height of the prism, which I said was this 15 here. So 12 times 15, and we get a volume of 12 times 15 equals 180. 180. And what is this? Inches cubed this time, because that is a three-dimensional figure we just found the volume of. Okay, so 180 cubic inches. Now, we have found, they gave us the density, we just find the volume. Now we can use the DMV formula to find our mass. So let's do that down here. So we have D equals M over V. Our density is 2.3. 2.3. We want to find M. We just found our volume, which is 180. So we just multiply both sides by 180. And we get 414. So our mass is equal to 414. And this is in terms of pounds. Now, in order to get the cost of the entire prism, all we got to do, so total cost. Total cost, all we got to do is take the mass and multiply it by the cost, how much it is per pound, which is equal to 414 times $3.79. And what do we get? 414 times 3.79 equals, this whole prism costs $1,569.06. There you go. So find the volume first, and then plug the volume into the DMV formula for density to find your mass, and then just multiply the mass of the entire prism by how much it costs per pound, per something else, whatever. Okay, and that's how you find the total cost of the prism. All right, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to jump on our virtual office hours every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. As always, be safe and be healthy, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.